Okay, so there's been another update. Honestly, this update has mostly just been added awakenings. Not too much else has seemingly been added on face value, at least. There aren't any new troop appearances or castle skins or new game modes or anything like that. There is the Army of the Dead replacement coming out fairly soon, so they might have put in the framework for this Real Ors trial that's going to come out. We just can't see it yet, but the main changes are Peter Baelish's, Arslan, and Hector's Awakening, and there's also another little update with Awakening, which you can now see, which I'll get into in a little bit under here under Rules, because you can see in this 5th tier some interesting stuff down at the bottom there, but we'll get into that in a bit. So they've added this like ranking and recommendation system for commanders, which, I mean, for new players it's fairly useful, I guess. For most people who are really hardcore about the game and invested, it probably isn't too important, but it is quite accurate information, honestly, especially the specifics, like here the female commander damage setup for Layla, and then with Jaime and his synergistic commanders, this healing and weakness attack setup. That's quite elitist, I'd say, quite high-end theory crafting and synergistic ideas, which is quite intriguing that they've put that just on face value into the game. But you can see here with Peter Baelish, we can see his 4-star ability through this, even though I believe he isn't awakenable yet, I'm pretty sure at least. But all 3 of the commanders that have been awakened or are going to be awakened through this update all play into this weakness attack synergy with Jaime's 4-star. And I've actually learned some things about this. Walking from NW1 sent me a DM earlier and showed me a report showing the specifics of how this works, and it works a little differently to how I thought it would actually, which makes it a lot better than I thought it would. Because when I initially read this through the tooltip, the bit which says for every 1 weakness attack taken by a target lineup, weakness damage taken plus 3%, the way I thought that would work would be for each individual lineup that hit, that lineup themselves would do 3% more damage. But the way it actually works is it stacks up as a total. So if 5 lineups all hit 1 lineup, it will stack immediately up to plus 15% damage taken, and they'll all do that bonus damage collectively. So if you can stack that really high, you're going to increase your damage insane amounts. Plus, the way it focuses on 1 lineup, if you can kill that lineup quicker, you can then stop that lineup from doing commander damage, which is very helpful in fights. It swings the damage in your favor quite significantly. So they're adding more and more things into the game which synergize with this ability, and I think you can see that when he first came out I was kind of down on him, but I think the problem was there just wasn't the things that synergized with him yet in the game, whereas now they're adding them more and more. And the idea that Jaime would end up being Layla's counterpart or competition, I think is turning out to be true, because you can see in this recommendation system they clearly have this weakness attack setup and female commander skill damage setup as a design focus. This is not a coincidence that they're adding all these synergies of these 2 4-stars. I'll probably do separate videos on Arslan and Hector, honestly. Whereas Hector, his 4-star is interesting. It can proc Jaime's 4-star quicker than anything else in theory if they have like Salma instant proccing it, and that will start stacking up the weakness attack very early, which is very good. I wonder the specifics on that lineup's attack increases by 15%. Is it just a flat, like, say you increase your spear attack by 15%, or is it an actual 15% multiplier? I'm guessing it's the first, but I think I've learned at this point to just not make assumptions on these tooltips, and we need to actually see how they work in practice before actually making a real judgment on them. And then Arslan's His is a bit more boring. Every 8 seconds, Commander Arslan heals 2% of the wounded for the ally troop with the greatest losses. So that will proc in a normal PvP fight at 8, 16, 24, 32 and 40 seconds. So it'll proc 5 times. That 2% wounded will heal very, very little at the start of the fight. Progressively it will get more effective, but I'm not sure quite how good this will realistically be. Because if you have a solo attack where you lose, say, 200k troops on it, this would heal, say, 4,000 at the very end of the fight when your deaths are at the highest. So across the fight it'll be a bit lower, maybe you'll get 8k less wounded and dead in that solo attack. I mean, it's not bad, especially because he does have good stats. At max awakening he'll have 66% spear health and spear attack, which is pretty decent. So I definitely think for free to players, Arslan's a really nice addition. Where can I see Peter's 4-star again? To find Jaime. There he is. So Peter's 4-star. Here's the weakness attack synergy. If you can get those 8 weakness attacks to trigger before, say, 20 seconds, you'll get a whole extra rotation of actives being like reversed on your target, which is a huge DPS swing. At first, when I read this, I wasn't entirely sure how good it was, but when you really think it through, so 80% chance of falling into disharmony, let's say that will hit 4 out of their 5 commanders under this effect, and then disharmony 50% chance of attacking any lineups at the front of own troops when using active skill. So we can reasonably interpret this as, say, 2 of their 5 commanders will end up attacking themselves instead of you when you have this, after it is triggered. So if you manage to proc those 8 weakness attacks through stuff like Drake and Hector at 18-19 seconds, you'll then hit 6 active skills across the fight, and that'll be a swing of 12 active skills in your favor, because they won't hit you, so you're taking less damage, and they'll hit themselves, so you're gaining damage. So in terms of gaining active skills, this is higher than stuff like Salma and Layla realistically. I mean, we'd expect that. It's Peter Baelish, he's one of the F5 commanders obviously, so he was always going to be absolutely ridiculous. But that is huge. If you proc him past 10 seconds, a swing of 12 actives in your favor. If he procs at the 25, it will be a swing of 8 actives in your favor. Obviously it will only be 4 that actually happen, but just when you think of it, it's like gaining health basically, because it won't be cast on yourself, so just reducing the damage you take will also help swing the fight in your favor. So this is ridiculous, honestly. He's going to be insane. If someone has like 4-star Layla, 4-star Cersei, 4-star Jon, 4-star Baelish, just run. Don't even try, because Wales are going to be able to solo more and more easily with all this stuff that keeps being added to the game. It's just the reality of it. And this really helps the Jaime out as well. At the higher ends of play, this Jaime Baelish composition will be very, very strong, especially if they add more things that proc weakness attacks. I imagine that Legion skill which procs it will start becoming very popular, honestly, with the top accounts in the game. So I'll do another video in a bit going over the specifics of Arslan and Hector, maybe separately, maybe together, I don't know yet, but the last thing in this video is this. I'm not sure if this was here before, honestly. I'm pretty sure it wasn't, because surely we'd know about it, but everything at the first 4 points we already know. But in this 5th point, blah blah blah, all stuff we know, but then general token conversion is not supported for these commanders: Darius, Hector, Sabrina, Tyrion Lannister, Simon Blackmire, and Night King. There's a few things that stand out there. 1, the Night King, what? I thought they didn't have the rights, first of all, to the game anymore, so that surprises me that's even listed. Is he actually going to be added to the game at some point? That is kind of crazy if so. Darius, we already know. then Hector, Sabrina, Tyrion, and Simon. So these are all gotten through very specific means. Hector obviously through the Wellwood Memory Shop, but also the Black Diamond Store. Sabrina through Lord of Lords and the Best Effort events. Tyrion through the Elite Trials shop and events, and then Simon with Valor Points. So the question is, how do we get the tokens for these? I'm assuming the thing that makes the most sense to me, at least, is it's just their own medals but at a 1-to-1 conversion rate, because I'm not sure what else it could realistically be. It can't be a 3-to-1 conversion rate like epics. That's crazy, because you'd need 1,800 Tyrion medals to get him to 4-star, or same like Sabrina, who is getting 1,800 Sabrina medals. That's just ridiculous. But maybe they'll add other events in the game to give tokens for these. I really don't know. We do have Werewood Memories, I think, starting up on Monday, and I'm wondering if we'll learn how to get Hector medals then. Maybe they'll just be added separately in the Werewood Memories store. But for right now, I really don't know. But I wasn't expecting this. I think a lot of us were expecting all of these to be epic, maybe elite for Simon. Darius, we knew when he was released, was going in a weird way. But Tyrion, there was always a lot of talk of, let's stack Tyrion medals so we can convert them to easy epics when he gets awakened. That doesn't seem to be the case. He's going to have his own commander-specific tokens, which we're going to have to get to awaken them. So keep an eye out on that, and let's see how we can actually get those tokens. Tyrion specifically, I imagine when he gets released, will be very in demand, because he's free to play total attack. Maybe there's not as much of a demand for that now with Arya coming out, but I'm sure people will still really, really want him. But that is the most recent update in GoTWiC.